Hi guys, here we've got another video. I've got this Sony MHC 2600 stereo system, and I'll show you what the problem is. It's got quite a few problems on this one actually. So when I press the power on, there's like a whining noise, and it's coming from the cassette deck at the top, and I'm able to open the cassette door on the right. You can hear the noise there. I can eject the right hand side cassette deck, but not the left, so I'm going to have a look at that today. The left side stuck. Okay, so I'm just removing the top cover, just undoing the last screws, and I'll just remove the cover here. A bit tricky, fiddly, so that I can show you inside here. See the motor spinning there, and the belt's obviously melted away and wrapped itself around the motor. So what I'm going to have to do is, you see here that you can't obviously press play or rewind. I'll just give you a close up here. You can see that's the main motor there with the belt. What was a belt is now mush. The belt's melted away. You can see there, just prodding at it. So I'm going to have to replace the belt on this. That's the main motor there, and that's why it won't play. And it's like this on both decks, so I'm going to have to repeat this process twice. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the power supply and get it on the table and have a look at it. Okay, so I'm going to have to strip this unit down so I can get to the motor. So I'm going to have to remove these panels here lively. Like I said, I'm going to have to do the same process on both sides, both A and B decks. The drive rubber belts have melted. Okay, let me show you here. I've got the motor section off, and you can see there that was once a rubber belt back in the 80s. Now it's just melted rubber, perished rubber. You see there, like tar, sticky and messy. You see there, got a screwdriver on it. I'm going to have to remove this and clean it up, replace the belts, and just show you here, this the capstan flywheel. The belt's also melted on this as well. You can see there, get it off in one piece if I could. It's just melted away. And this is the main motor I showed you earlier when it was in situ. You can see the belts, the rubber belts, what were rubber belts, just turned to mush and melted, and it's just stuck to the pulley. So I'm going to have to remove this and get it cleaned up as well when I replace the belt. Just show you there, it's all mushy. All the belts are melted away. So I'm replacing the belt here. I've got all the old belts cleaned up, and this bolt just goes around the capstan flywheel, as you can see here. That's the grey pulleys, the capstan flywheel. So it goes around both of these pulleys here. And the darker pulley drives the mechanism. Okay, so, and then you got another belt on the top here for the rewind. And the selector. It's got to fit that as well. That was also perished. It's just two belts on this. Very tricky to refit, as you can see here. So first thing I'm going to do is, once I've brought the unit together, is fit the smaller belt. Just use a pair of tweezers, just get a close up of what I'm going to do there. Fit that belt on first, and then I've got to put the second belt on using this bent paper clip. I've got to put the main belt over the this main motor where it was perished before. And then you can see I've just about got the belt over there. So now that that's done, it's just a matter of assembling the unit, and I'll do that lively. And like I said, I've had to do this on both sides, both cassette A and B decks. So I'll switch it on now, and you can see here, and that whirring noise has stopped. When you turn it on, it whirs for a couple of seconds and it stopped. Whereas before, you're just doing it continuously, and I've got eject on both sides now. And I've just got to test the cassette decks to make sure they're working. Another problem I've got is the CD player. As you can see there, it's not illuminated. That's the CD deck there, so I'm going to have to look at that because there's no power. So with that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe.